This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Coming up on the South today, the bells ring out as the first Albatross returns to Tairoa Head, signalling the end of winter. We visit one of Lonely Planet's most highly recommended tourist attractions in the South Island. And University of Otago research reveals interesting facts about pigeons and their ability to understand us. Good evening, I'm Rebecca Dupree. The first Royal Albatross to return to Tairoa Head for the spring breeding season has landed at the end of Otago Peninsula. Dunedin has a long tradition of church bells ringing to celebrate the return of the birds and herald the end of winter, and there are high hopes for the colony's future.
For him, the bells tolled. This year's return of the Albatross to Tairoa Head has been led by 32-year-old Rob, all red, orange, blue. It's believed he might be looking for his fifth partner, as his first four mates have died. The bells of St Paul's Cathedral pealed across the Octagon at 1 p.m. this afternoon, as Otago Peninsula Trust Marketing Manager Sophie Barker watched on. She says it's wonderful to see how the city celebrates the return of the birds.
It's a beautiful tradition that's been in the city for many, many years, and I think because we are the world's only mainland Royal Albatross breeding colony, it's something that's really, really special to our city.
Dunedin campanologist Bruce Aitken really puts his back into ringing the cathedral's bells. Barker says the recent breeding season has been very successful. Not quite the best ever, but close.
We had our second equal most successful breeding season this year. We had 26 chicks. We've got 6 left to fledge. Our most successful ever breeding season has been 27 chicks, so we're hoping more eggs, more chicks this season.
She's hopeful that the colony of around 250 birds can double in size in the near future.
The colony's grown to about 250 albatross, so hopefully one day we'll get up to 500. And given that we've had so many successful chicks recently, it should grow exponentially soon.
A welcome back flag made by a friend of the Peninsula Trust is flying outside the Mayor's office. Many Albatross fans also set bell chimes on their mobile phones to ring at 1 p.m. Statistics show the Royal Albatross colony at Tairoa Head attracts around 100,000 visitors to Dunedin and Otago every year. Rob is one of the seasoned rock stars of the colony and is expected to turn 33 in January. Staff are hoping he'll celebrate his birthday with a new partner and maybe the pitter-patter of not so tiny feet. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Debate is raging in Dunedin over whether a liquor store should be able to operate in the student quarter. The case came before the District Licensing Committee during a hearing this morning. Super Liquor in Cumberland Street is applying to renew its off-licence, which is opposed by police and the Southern District Health Board. The University of Otago is also against the application, saying the current drinking culture needs to change. The liquor outlet is located next to a service station, which is now prohibited by law. Store owners are assessing whether they can adequately separate the businesses to get around that. The case is expected to be heard again in about a month's time. A Gore Art Gallery has recently been ranked by Lonely Planet as one of the best places to visit in the South Island. The Eastern Southland Gallery houses an eclectic, far-ranging collection of both New Zealand and international work, and its curator is pleased to see the hard work paying off.
Eastern Southland Gallery has received recognition in a world-renowned travel guide. On the Lonely Planet list of the 20 best free things to do in the South Island, a visit to the Gore Gallery took out the second spot. Curator Jim Geddes says he is pleased with the recognition, but he hasn't had time for it to sink in.
We have appeared in the Lonely Planet before from time to time, and it's always been well received, but I think a lot depends on the show that you've got on at the time, a lot depends on the reviewer, a lot depends on the day, and we obviously struck it lucky this year.
The gallery has 2 permanent exhibitions, one of which is devoted to the work of New Zealand artist Ralph Hotary. The other space houses a far-ranging collection including both traditional and modern pieces from Africa, America and Australia. Geddes says it might be this international flavour that puts the rural-based gallery on the map.
I think it's probably the eclectic nature of the collections. I think people coming to a small town like Gore don't necessarily expect to see what we have. I think the multinational scope of the holdings is something that surprises a lot of people.
Geddes says the gallery receives crucial support from inside and outside the region, and they've established strong relationships with many local artists. The team is made of Geddes and one other, and they spend most of their waking hours organising exhibitions and maintaining the gallery. He says while the job is time-consuming, he enjoys every day.
Because we're a really small team, we tend to get an awful lot done, and we seem to sing from the same hymn sheet, and we get very excited about the programs that are coming in. And it's not really work. It's actually every day you just can't wait to get to work. It's wonderful. Alongside
the two permanent exhibitions are spaces which are changed out regularly through the year. And with an exhibition schedule booked up to the end of 2018, the work won't be letting up anytime soon. Jack Conroy, The South Today.
The South Island's Army Reserves officially have the freedom of Dunedin City following a formal ceremony. Mayor Dave Cull and Dunedin City Council Chief Executive Sue Bidrose signed the Freedom of the City Charter in the Civic Centre this afternoon. It's a symbolic undertaking offered by the local authority to the 2-4 Battalion. Mayor Cull says it's a sign of trust and honour which has been practised for hundreds of years. He says historically armed groups were given freedom of city quarters for valour as they weren't always trusted by communities. The previous Otago and Southland Regiment had the same status, but it was amalgamated with other South Island regiments in 2012. Pigeons can learn to distinguish real words from non-words by visually processing their letter combinations. That's the surprising new research from the University of Otago in collaboration with a German institution. The study, which is published in a prestigious international journal, is the first to identify a non-primate species as having orthographic abilities.
A bird in the hand is all well and good, but what if it can read? University of Otago psychology researchers have been testing pigeons to see if they can distinguish between words and non-words. The local academics were working with a team from the Ruhr University in Germany.
And we did that by presenting them with 4-letter words on a touchscreen, and they basically had to pick the word if it was a word or another symbol if it was not a word. And we basically taught them between 30 and 60 words, and then we transferred them to words they'd never seen before to see whether they could also classify them correctly.
Scarf was one of the key researchers on the project and says the reason behind wanting to see if pigeons can read is relative to human nature.
If we find an ability in an animal that we also have, then we can kind of infer that maybe the last ancestor we shared with the animal also had that ability.
Construction of a new animal testing facility on the university's Dunedin campus is contentious, with opponents fearing more animals will be experimented on. Scarf says these birds were not harmed during this study's experiments.
So this is a purely behavioural study. So almost all of my work is behavioural, where we're basically just looking at the pigeons' performance on touchscreen tasks. So we give them a number of different tasks over the past probably 10 years.
He believes the expression bird-brained should now be let fly from our vocabulary. It's a thought, given the proof that these avian acrobats can tell a real word from a fake. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, spring is celebrated with a drum showcase and the 60th Blossom Festival attracts thousands.
Hi, my name is Wonderful. I believe that together we can build a brighter future for Dunedin. I'm presenting two major infrastructure proposals that won't cost the ratepayer a single cent. The first is a flood protection scheme for South Dunedin based on successfully used displacement tent systems overseas. The second is a major new redevelopment of our harborside area to create a world-class community space. Vote Wonderful and let's build a brighter future together. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Doug Hall. I stood for council in the 2013 election and got elected. The achievements I've been part of in the last 3 years have been of a great benefit to Dunedin City. Reducing debt, improving contracts and better liaison with the general public. to further reduce debt and better management of all contracts. Vote Doug Hall, first choice for council.
Hello, my name is Anne Galloway and I'm standing for election to Dunedin City Council. I have lived and worked in Dunedin for 20 years and I'm very proud of this city. And I do know that at times there are very difficult decisions that need to be made. We need councillors who care about the people, about their issues such as healthcare, housing and an ageing population. Vote for me and I will do my best for you and for Dunedin.
Hello, my name is Bruce Fairhurst. The City Council is a giant decision-making machine, and every year they make thousands of decisions that affect ratepayers, some in a small way, some in a large way. It's really important that those decisions are fair, made in a democratic way, and made with accurate and reliable information. I've lived my entire life in Dunedin, and I love it here. I've been working in the construction industry all of that time. I've seen massive changes in the consent process, making it difficult to build or improve your property. I see opportunities to make this process much more user-friendly. Vote Bruce Fairhurst with a 1. I'm looking forward to joining a talented team on the council this term and making Dunedin the best city it can possibly be.
Hi, I'm Dave Yardley and I'm standing for the Otago Regional Council. Two of Otago's greatest resources are our outstanding natural landscape and our capability for agriculture. Getting the balance right between preservation of that landscape and intensification of farming is a real challenge. To meet that challenge, we need a firm understanding of both our environment and our land-based businesses. I have that understanding to ensure that our landscape and farming can coexist in harmony for generations to come. A vote for Dave Yardley is a vote for reason, balance and integrity.
Hello, my name is Malcolm Dixon. I'm standing for the Dunedin City Council. I've been in retail for 40 years in Dunedin and I would like to see some changes in the city. I'm passionate about growing business opportunities in Dunedin. Transport and parking issues are important to me, and flooding and management of city assets, especially in South Dunedin area, are a major issue. So remember to vote for Malcolm Dixon at Dunedin City Council.
If you're eligible to vote in the local body elections, you should have received your voting papers by now. Elections are being held for Mayor, the Dunedin City Council and its community boards, and the Otago Regional Council. Information about candidates and the different types of voting systems is included with your voting papers, or visit dunedin.govt.nz/elections. All voting papers will list candidates randomly so that every voting paper is different. Remember, you have the right to vote. Don't be left out. Vote early.
Welcome back. Firefighters are battling a blaze inside a popular Bluff restaurant. Emergency services were called to the Oyster Cove Cafe and Bar just after 3 p.m. It's believed the fire started in a dryer in a laundry room, although that has yet to be confirmed. The majority of damage is at the back of the building where the laundry and kitchen are. Up to 30 people were in the restaurant at the time fire broke out. All were evacuated without injury by co-owner Linda Jackson. The restaurant is at Stirling Point at the end of State Highway 1, which is a popular tourist spot. Several fire appliances from Invercargill were deployed to the scene, supporting Bluff crew. Dunedin's Japanese-inspired drum team Otaiko has been celebrating spring through public music and performance. Members of the group are showcasing their rhythmic talents to an appreciative crowd at the weekend, and it was also a chance to debut some original music.
A world premiere of an original song written and arranged by Otaiko members was one of 5 showcased at the group's spring celebration. The group was formed in 2010 and is the most southern taiko group in the southern hemisphere.
It's amazing. I mean, we're so privileged to be able to first play on these drums, but also to learn the culture and the performance aspect of it.
Otaiko's performances blend elements of rhythm and action with their mix of traditional and new drum pieces.
So most of our songs are, you hear a theme throughout it, or you'll see a theme with the choreography and movement as well.
Special guests, the Otago Koto Ensemble gave a performance on their Japanese string instruments. But it's the main drumming group that's found themselves in great demand.
We've had up to like 50 in a year, which range from really big performances to small, intimate ones. We perform a lot around the university.
The group has 20 members at the moment and is supported by the University of Otago's music department. Go says there are no special skills needed to play the traditional Japanese drums.
You just come, and as long as you have passion and enthusiasm to learn with us, we are just happy to have you, and we're a fun group.
Celebrating the end of winter with songs and rhythms from Japan, North America, Australia and New Zealand was a great way to welcome spring. Dee Karen, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, some of Otago's fashion graduates make the pages of Vogue in Italy, and we have highlights from the weekend's colour run.
Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call 0800 502 402.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Hi, I'm Joshua Perry, currently working in social services, and I am standing for the Dunedin City Council. I support improvements in student housing, business investment, waterfront development, and South Dunedin for restoration. Dunedin should be accessible for all, and if I'm elected, I will make Dunedin a vibrant destination.
Authorised by Joshua Perry, 95 North Road, North East Valley.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Hi, I'm Dave Cole, Mayor of Dunedin, and together we're building a great city, not just for now, but for the future. And I'm committed to creating a positive legacy of sensible investments, sustainable businesses, an emphasis on infrastructure and environment, healthier homes, and your community well-being. A future our kids can be really proud to inherit. If you want the same positive future, please mark 1 for Dave Cole for Mayor and return your voting form. Thanks.
If you're eligible to vote in the local body elections, you should have received your voting papers by now. Elections are being held for Mayor, the Dunedin City Council and its community boards, and the Otago Regional Council. Information about candidates and the different types of voting systems is included with your voting papers, or visit dunedin.govt.nz/elections. All voting papers will list candidates randomly so that every voting paper is different. Remember, you have the right to vote. Don't be left out. Vote early.
Welcome back. The Central Otago township of Alexandra is buzzing from a standout 60th annual Blossom Festival at the weekend. About 15,000 people bought tickets to the Pioneer Park activities and events following the street parade. Floats of all shapes and sizes kept children and families entertained during the procession. Vintage vehicles, trucks and bands also rolled down the town's main street. Live music, stalls, rides and fun competitions were popular among the crowd. Police were pleased with the behaviour of people attending the festival, which has been plagued by trouble in the past. Just 3 young men from Alexandra were arrested in relation to fighting and disorderly behaviour. The work of 2 Otago Polytechnic fashion graduates has been featured in this month's Vogue Italia magazine. Collections by graduates Ariane Bray and Bridget Robertson make the pages of the prestigious publication's Talents Supplement. It highlights 200 emerging designers from around the world. This is the 5th time since 2010 that students of the Polytechnic School of Design have featured in the magazine. No other New Zealand fashion institute has ever been included. Staff are thrilled with the honour, as are the graduates whose work is being highlighted. Otago Polytechnic's Bachelor of Fashion Design is considered one of the world's top 50 undergraduate fashion degrees. Hundreds of Dunedin residents are washing coloured cornstarch from their clothes following a rainbow run in the city. About 1,200 people participated in the colourful event at Logan Park on Sunday. Sport Otago is thrilled, saying numbers were well up on previous years. Participants walked or ran a 5-kilometre circuit around the park, while volunteers hurled handfuls of coloured cornstarch at them. The event is intended to be a fun form of exercise. It attracted people of all ages and also raised money for Sporting Chance, a program helping disadvantaged children to play sport. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The first of this season's Royal Albatross have returned to Tairoa Head, sparking the ceremonial bells to toll in Dunedin. The Eastern Southland Gallery in Gore has made it onto a Lonely Planet list as one of the best places to visit on the South Island. And Otago researchers are revealing more about the intelligence of pigeons, having found they can distinguish real words from fake ones. It's time now to find out what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, and we're joined by editor Barry Stewart. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. One of New Zealand's biggest liquor suppliers has hit back at comments from the University of Otago over liquor licensing laws. My Tai Tai has been approved at the mouth of Otago Harbour.
Can you say that again?
My Tai Tai.
thought you just stuttered a little bit through there, just decided there.
So well, there you go.
That's karma.
That's one of those words, yeah. Bowel cancer screening will save money and lives, but just how will health boards pay for the cost of the facilities? It's a question we pose. Tomorrow, Generation Zero ranks the Dunedin mayoral candidates on climate and transport issues, and you'll see the results of that.
Were they quite interesting?
Well, they go from A+ to D.
Okay. Is there a lot of A pluses?
There's 2.
Oh, that'll be an interesting read. That's tomorrow's ODT then. Yes. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Time now for tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorns Emu Oil.
And here is today's southern view. It's taken a beautiful daffodils at the bottom of Pine Hill in Dunedin. To the situation, and the humid northeast flow is expected to continue until Thursday, with conditions remaining often cloudy and with some light showers from time to time. And Lumsden and Gore are both expecting some high cloud tomorrow, with highs of 15 degrees each. Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra are also up for the risk of afternoon showers, with highs of around 14 or 15 degrees. And some drizzle with nor'easters for both Timaru and Oamaru, with a high each of 12 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, tomorrow and Wednesday, often cloudy with extensive low cloud morning and night, some drizzle patches as well. Dry in the afternoon with a few bright periods, light to moderate nor'easters. Tonight's low in Dunedin 6 degrees, tomorrow 11, 12 for Wednesday. And for Invercargill tonight, fine with a low of 3. Tomorrow and Wednesday, mostly fine and sunny with a small risk of showers late afternoon, 15 degrees expected both days. And that's all from the team here at the South Today for Monday. We'll join you again tomorrow. Good evening.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.